What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my reaction and read-through of Berserk. There is one video missing, and that is the video where I react to Nosferatu Zodd. The reaction was, unfortunately, corrupted. This is my reaction. Thumbnail material. Man, I am just appreciating like this artwork that is in display right here. Wow. As you can see, it is pretty much unwatchable. Even the audio itself was jumping all over the place, and yeah, it kind of sucks. It really does. Personally, I find that the Nosferatu Zodd chapters to be one of the best that I have read of Berserk. I had a lot of fun reading those chapters. Some of the art style, some of the artwork that Miura presented, especially for Zodd himself as a character, was really good, captivating, mesmerizing in some instances. Like, I was having a lot of fun. And the sheer sadness that I felt when I opened the video, once I finished reacting to it and once I finished recording it on OBS, when I realized that it is fucked. And I can't do anything about it. And that video also included my extensive review and discussion of those chapters as well, so that is also gone. Yeah, I don't want to redo all of it because that's just disingenuous. I don't want to fake my reaction at all, so I'm just not going to redo it. So you're not going to, unfortunately, see my reaction to those specific chapters. If those specific chapters are chapters that you were looking forward to, then I'm sorry, but you're never going to see those reactions again, or ever in this case. Yeah. So instead, I'm going to review and discuss a little bit about those specific chapters and how I feel about them in this opening part of the video before I continue on with the latest, with the next chapters of Berserk, and hopefully the recording on this one does not get bored as well. So, what do I think about the chapters of Nosferatu Zodd? It was great. I really enjoyed it. Before Nosferatu Zodd, I read The Winds of Sword, I believe it's called. And that was really good as well. We kind of see like some of this tactical warfare between Griffith and the rest of the people that they are fighting against. Guts, just being Guts and fighting the enemy head on by himself, when Casca being Casca, berating Guts, saying, "Hey man, what are you doing? You're not following the orders," One thing that I really do love about these dynamics, well, first of all, I do want to mention this. I do find that the character design to be different. And that is, of course, in tandem to the fact that there is a time skip, a 3-year time skip, in fact. And it really shows. I was looking at like some of the character designs from the previous chapters during the Golden Age arc of the Golden Age arc, if that makes sense. And yeah, I can definitely feel a difference in the characters and their design. Here, it feels and looks a lot more mature. It's more... they're more grown up, essentially. I mean, it has been 3 years. Some of the design of the characters remind me more of the design that I have seen before through the anime adaptations, because that was one thing that I mentioned during my read-through of the Golden Age, and it's that some of the character designs, they do look very childlike, very different from what I remember when I was watching like the anime adaptations. But now I'm looking at like Casca, I'm looking at Griffith. They have this maturity to them, and that is like more of the design that I am more familiar with. So I do love that there is this gradual progression in the character design as well as they mature, because sometimes a character will say that they're far older than who they were before, and then you look at them and you're like, nothing changed. But here I can definitely see that change. It's subtle, but from like the structure of their face and everything, like you can definitely tell, and I really appreciate that. And I also felt like some of the paneling in these specific chapters, some of the staging and the composition of the characters and the world and how each panel flows with one another, like the direction of the manga panels itself by Miura was really great. I really enjoyed it a lot. Especially during that first chapter that I was reading, where after they finish fighting the battle and then they go, and then Casca and Guts went inside, and Casca was talking about like, hey Guts, like, why do you have to be like a mad dog or something? And that really ticked Guts off, and for good reason, of course, because it kind of reminds Guts of his past, the allegory of Guts being a dog or a servant to a master, which is kind of essentially like the main talking point of the Golden Age, right? Immediately, the first thing that I read when I was reading these chapters is the monologue concerning about like humanity and their fate, and how are we actually free, or are we just playing along with the whims of a god's hand, right? And in this case, the god himself can be attributed to Griffith, who is the master, to Guts, who is the servant, right? And I love that interaction between Guts and Casca. Again, like it's like still the start of their blooming relationship, but it is, on one hand, it is tropey to see like, oh, they're fighting, they hate each other, which means that they're gonna love each other in the future. But I'm gonna admit, sometimes I really do love that trope. Like there's something about it. It is the perfect way to establish character development and how somebody can have a change of heart against the other person. But anyways, I do love that part in that chapter, especially afterwards. Griffith comes in and they have a talk, and I just love the way Miura just drew the panels, like how there is, like I said, this sense of direction that feels somewhat cinematic. I rarely see that in manga, but when I do, I'm like, there it is. So I really do appreciate it. I really do love that. And then moving forward from that chapter, of course, we got into the Nosferatu Zodd arc of the Golden Age, and I really, really love these chapters. And it is quite a shame that the recording for these chapters they're gone. They're corrupted. I am still kind of salty about that, but nonetheless, great set of chapters. I love Zodd's design. It was a main talking point during my entire reaction at that, because every time you see these 2-page spreads of just Nosferatu Zodd, and it's just pure black and white, and I'm like, man, that looks good. That looks good. Like the flow of of its fur and everything, like it's just so mesmerizing. I just cannot stop looking at it. It's so good. Very menacing, very devilish. But the thing about Zodd that interests me the most is his somewhat fear of the Behelit, and that comes after the end of these chapters, right? Towards the final chapter of Nosferatu Zodd looks at the Behelit, and then he was surprised, and then he gives a premonition of prophecy to Guts, and that is where essentially where we left those chapters, saying that hey man, I don't want to deal with this shit. The Behelit, the God Hand, and all that stuff, and nope. But I'm gonna give you a warning though. Keep an eye out on your friend, man. Shit's about to get real. That's basically it. And that interests me a lot, because it establishes that not everybody agrees with the God Hand in terms of like the demons, the devils, the monsters and such, like I really want to see Guts and Zodd, instead of fighting together, but work together. Because the thing about Zodd is that he is fighting Guts, right? And he feels this thrill of the battle, right? Like, I have never seen or fought somebody like you in a very long time and all, like he was happy about it, happy quote unquote. And then Griffith comes in, ruins the party and all that stuff. But the battle isn't over. The duel is not over. Like they are, as Zodd would put it, the duel is being postponed, right? We're gonna have this duel again. So I am really looking forward to seeing Nosferatu Zodd again in the future, because I don't think I've ever really seen Nosferatu Zodd again, at least from my recollection of the Golden Age adaptations. Like I don't remember seeing Zodd again. That's the thing. I don't think this is going to be the last time we're going to be seeing Zodd, because why would you introduce this character that has this mystique, this aura, a demon, in fact, and then he escapes? It's not like some of the other demons that we saw in the Black Swordsman arc, where eventually they do die in the hands of Guts. But here, it's like, nope, this person escaped. We're never going to see them again. What's going to happen to Nosferatu Zodd? I don't know, but I want to see him fight. I don't want to see him fight against Guts. I want to see him fight with Guts against the God Hand, because there is something about Zodd and the God Hand. Why was he so afraid of the God Hand? I mean, I can kind of guess why. I mean, it's the God Hand, right? But it's more so that, what is his alignment with everything? You know what I mean? Like, am I looking at a potential the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of deal in regards to him and Guts? It would be cool, but I digress. Let us pull back a bit. That's like theories of the future, and we don't even know, because that's the thing, right? In regards to like the Golden Age, my recollection of it, as I mentioned almost every single time during my videos of Berserk, is that I've only seen the anime adaptations of the Golden Age, and I don't remember seeing Zodd after this moment. So I don't know if there's an omittance, there's like scenes or moments that are cut from the manga where we do see Zodd again or not. I don't know. But either way, I am curious and excited and interested to see where this specific character is gonna go in the future. And besides that, like I said, like the artwork always stellar, spectacular. The action, the way the action was drawn in these set of chapters are fantastic. Because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes I look at an action sequence, even in Berserk, where I go, okay, that looks cool, but I have no idea what is going on, because things are happening on the panel and I am seeing everything, and there is some lack of cohesion, gonna be honest. But in the case of the fight between Guts and Nosferatu Zodd, everything just looks so clean. Like everything I can completely understand just from looking at, because sometimes I will take a minute to process, like, okay, what is this action doing? Like, what is this? What's the movement here? Whereas in Nosferatu Zodd, I'm like, okay, I can immediately imagine the movement between Zodd, between Guts, like where they're going, which swing goes through and such. Like it's honestly a really, really big step up in quality. Not to say that Berserk does not have quality before. No, quality of Berserk is already up here. It's just getting better. It's really good before, but there's a couple of things that I find myself not really a huge fan of. I just never really want to mention it because otherwise people are going to be downvoting it. But now I'm seeing a lot of those things being improved upon. So a lot of those things being more addressed and being more handled better. Again, like the staging of the panels, like I mentioned before, there is this better flow to them. The action panels as well, really, really super easy to follow and understand. I am enjoying this. I am loving this. We are in that incline that I do not want to stop. So, again, kind of sucks that my full reaction and review got lost due to unfortunate technical difficulties and issues. I don't even know what happened. Like the recording itself was going fine, and then once I finished stopping my recording and I looked back at the video, it became like whatever you saw in the beginning. Yeah. And it was a really long review as well. Like, I don't think I even covered most of the things that I talked about during that review in this video, because that review went on to almost like 30 minutes, I would say. Like, I went through a lot, but that's also me just repeating some stuff before. So this is more of the abridged version of my review and my thoughts on that video. So hopefully this will be more than enough for all of you guys, just so that you can have an understanding of like how I felt about those specific chapters. Because I really do want to show those reactions, because I was really enjoying those chapters. I really do. So here's hoping the reaction to the next chapters of Berserk won't end up the same way. So hope you guys enjoy the reaction to that. All right. The next chapters of Berserk. Master of the Sword, Chapter 1. Death will pay you a visit, a death you can never escape. That was the last thing that Nosferatu Zodd told Guts. Such a great design. A death you can never escape. Windham Castle, royal capital of Midland. Did you hear about the Band of the Hawk? The soldiers were saying that some giant, fell beasts appeared in a Shutter stronghold. Just a falsehood. It's to conceal their own blunder. A simple but effective child's trick. But it seems it was not just one or two who witnessed it. Besides, they were eventually successful in subduing their stronghold. Even if he was wounded, you cannot call that a blunder. This will be another step in the successive rise of his merit. Ah, it's so vexing. That is the captain of the Hawk's Raiders. Oh. Clear the way, you cur. Should not have said that. That last battle was quite the calamity. A beast appearing on the battlefield, eh? Did you receive those wounds at the hands of said beast? Perhaps in the darkness you mistook some mud for a monster. Yeah, you asked for it, buddy. You definitely asked for it. Like, you see that dude. You may not believe the stories, but like, look at the dude. Look at those muscles. Like, you do not want to pick a fight against him. Sorry, the pains made me dizzy. You bastard, face my sword. No, you won't. Yeah. Just a simple stare. That's all he needs. Well, look at this. All of the gang is here. Except for Griffith, of course. What are you doing here? Should you be walking yet? Reminiscing about what Casca said. Not trying to make any contact, are you? To my contact, I mean. Don't worry about it. Everyone knows that wasn't your fault. Casca got as worked up as the rest of us, and she blurted that out. Don't sweat it. So, what's everyone doing? We're all here to pay Griffith a visit. But there's a line. Who are they? Oh, officials, bishops, dignitaries from the royal court. Well, it's as kind as it is cruel, you know. There are statesmen who see Griffith as just an annoying upstart commoner, but there are also some, like them, who think if they stake a claim on him now, it'll pay off down the road. Well, guess it's only natural. These days, Griffith's all wins and no losses. In fact, he's head of the mightiest armed force in Midland. That is crazy, isn't it? A band of mercenaries, the Band of the Hawk, being the mightiest army in Midland. More so than the actual forces of Midland. Guts is like, okay, whatever, who cares? I'm going in. Weren't you listening? I was listening. So what? So what? What do you mean, so what? I'm saying you need to wait here until the dignitaries have finished their audience. What difference does it make? It's just dropping in on a wounded man. Who gives a damn about social status? Hey man, that's my man. Spittin'. I'm going out of the way. You shall not pass. Please wait until the dignitaries are finished. It never gets old. It never gets old. Every time somebody tries to, you can't do that, Guts. Guts is like, yeah, okay. Literally assaulting the officers and having a laugh at it. At least he apologized. Sorry. That Thomas wanna come, Rickard? Love that expression from Guts. Far left panel. Everybody's like, what? The hell? You crazy bitch. Some reaction from Guts there. Assuming next page we're gonna be seeing Casca's reaction. Tears, perhaps? Holding off tears. Why? Why do you always have to be this way? Why does Griffith bother with a guy like you so much? I guess that's another thing that I mentioned during my reaction and review of the Nosferatu Zodd chapters, in that it is clear that Guts and Griffith are servant and master. But what about Casca and Griffith? Like, what is she to Griffith? And what does Casca see herself being towards Griffith? Like, does Casca see herself as a friend to Griffith, an equal to Griffith, or does she actually see herself just like Guts, a mad dog? And she's projecting that towards Guts, and that's why she's hating on Guts, because Guts is reminding her of herself. Because we know that Casca has some feelings for Griffith, like obviously at this point, like she keeps asking, like, why is Griffith always focusing on you and not me, What's that about? I'm the one who should be crying. That ain't no woman's punch. Hey, Guts? Forget it, I'll just come back. Still, kinda know how Guts feel. Lately, Griffith has been kinda hard to approach, I guess. It's like he's drifted away from us. It's the ballad. Practicing your sword swinging as usual. You're satisfied as long as you just get to cross swords with the enemy. You're thinking about what she said in the previous chapters. You don't think about your comrades one bit. You're just a mad dog. Why do you always have to be this way? It's your fault. Yeah, I knew Guts would think something of like, what's her problem, man? Damn it, what's that bitch's problem? Asked Guts. Don't get angry. Griffith, you can swing a sword already, even though you were wounded so much worse than I. You really are tough. I heard you came to see me with everyone else. Those officials all think they can gain favor by appearing to care for a wounded man after a day. It's enough to make me sick. But, oh well, it can't be helped. It's absolutely necessary in order to gain status in this kingdom. Nosferatu. Zodd. Who would have thought that a monster that fantastic exists? It felt like I was having a nightmare. But if you look at it in a different way, it might be proof that there's something huge beyond human understanding in this world. For instance, what are called gods or something? Don't you mean devils? Who knows? Aren't they the same thing? By the way, how'd I make it out of that? I mean, I passed out partway through. That thing you wear around your neck? For some reason, he flew off when he saw that. The behelit. Zodd knew what that thing was. Thinking back again to what Zodd said, if you can be said to be a true friend of this man, then take heed when his ambition collapses. Death will pay you a visit, a death you can never escape. Looks like this thing even protects against evil spirits. I have to go thank the old gypsy woman. That's another one I owe you. Why is it? 3 years ago you said I can't lose such an excellent soldier. But to put your life on the line for just one soldier? That's a hot-headed thing for a calm, composed guy like you to do. So why? My, a discussion from 3 years ago. You sure can be picky. There's no reason. At all. Do I need one? A reason? Tell me. Do I need a reason each time I put myself in harm's way? For your sake. Oh. Interesting. We are trying to paint Griffith as this friendly person, right? This person who, you don't need to think about it, you know? I'm just here to save you. Like, don't think about it. I'm doing this for your sake. Like, do I have a reason? Do I need to have a reason? Like, don't think about it. It's fine. There is a reason. We know there is. It's manipulative. And that's why I love Griffith as a character. He may be a piece of shit, we know that. Especially what's going to happen in the future, right? But he is such an interesting character to follow. Somebody who is this manipulative and this diabolical. Evil, you would say. Yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next chapter. Alright. Master of the Sword. Chapter 2. Tell me, do I need a reason each time I put myself in harm's way for your sake? Interesting way to draw guts in this situation. Like his eyes just glowing up. Like shocked at the response that Griffith gave. No, I just... Why, it's the White Hawk. Have your injuries healed? Why, Your Majesty. Hey, Guts, you there! You are before the king! How dare you? No matter. Raise your heads, I am simply on a stroll. But sire, the castle is teeming with agitation from all the successive battles and war councils. There is not even a moment's rest to be had. Let me introduce you. This is my brother, Count Julius. He is General of the White Dragons, and second in succession to the throne of Midland. I am Griffith. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Incidentally, Sir Griffith, the battlefield exploits your band of the Hawk are always most impressive. My gracious thanks. When I see the daring valor with which you all fight, it makes even this old man's blood seem to boil. I recall when of old my subjects and I would run about the battlefield. Alas, I was young. Sire, speaking that way with me a troop commander. Come, there is no wrong in it. It is true that there are statesmen who do not think favorably of such people. They say that the influence of those of common origin will reflect poorly on our army's prestige. But prestige, status, and the like do not win battles, nor do they feed the people. These are troubled times. I anticipate that rather than noble generals who are bound to old customs, it is common draftees such as yourself, not taken in by status, who will help form the cornerstone of this kingdom. For your sincere words of thanks, I am most grateful. I think I remember where this is going, actually. Especially considering the next chapters are called Assassin. I think I remember where this is going to go. I recall they're gonna go out hunting and then things happen afterwards. Who might that lady be? Oh, my daughter, Charlotte. She is shy. She claims to dislike stern soldiers, and seldom does she venture outside the palace. Charlotte. Just as you see, perhaps because she is my only daughter, I have spoiled her to some degree. Excuse her, Lord Griffith. Come, let us go, Charlotte. Yeah. She falls, Griffith catches her. And then, of course, yeah, I remember this, yeah. How dare you touch the princess, you bastard! Of course, Guts stepping in, trying to help his buddy. Buddy, in quotations. Please, pardon my rudeness, your lordship, General Julius. What are you doing? Nothing at all, father. Now, let us go, princess. Yeah. Look at Guts, like, smiling, like, Meanwhile, Julius here, like, Oh, but did you hear? They say that thanks to his merits in his last battle, Lord Griffith could be made a count. I did hear that. He is just superb, even prettier than me, and I'm a woman. How frustrating. Not only that, he's a leader of the strongest military group in the kingdom and the best swordsman. It's just too much. Yes, that it is. He's so elegant and dignified, it's hard to believe he's a commoner like us. And he's such more refined than those awkward aristocrats. On that note, the officers in the castle are all so boorish and rude, it's disgusting. The other officers are pitiful compared to Lord Griffith. Oh yes, right. Hey, you maidservants, what are you chattering about? Well, there you go. Chirping sparrows. Such a loud shout will resound throughout the entire castle. Minister Foss, You seem most disturbed, Lord Julius. Does something concern you? It's nothing. Incidentally, General, did you hear the debate about the King's Guard for the upcoming autumn hunt? There it is. It's customary that be left each year to my White Dragon Knights. But what? I hear it was determined by the King's command that this year it will be the Band of the Hawk. What? What? That cannot be. The autumn hunt is an important event for the king fostered goodwill among the lords. Guarding his majesty should be an honorable duty permitted only to fall upon the white dragons who have always been part of the regular army. To think that until yesterday the band of robbers could be promoted, and then what could his majesty be thinking? Are you certain this is permissible? What? It seems that the glory of the White Dragon Knights, formerly admired as our kingdom's mightiest, has faded due to the recent activities of the Band of the Hawk. One wonders if the name of the courageous General Julius will end up being erased by that of Griffith. How dare you? It is a rumor told by many. However, one cannot scorn his ability on the battlefield. That the Band of the Hawk is ever victorious is an indisputable fact. He is surely a godsend in our time of conflict. See what you did there? He's a godsend. The fighting shows no sign of ending soon. In such case, he will continue to distinguish himself militarily. Furthermore, the way he has ingratiated himself, His Majesty seems to have placed a terribly high value on the boy. If we weren't careful, Griffith might even reach the level of general. Ridiculous! I won't accept it. I've never even heard of a common-born general. That boy, a general like me. You mean that humble commoner will speak to me on the same level? Such a possibility does exist. It is said. Never. I swear I'll never accept that. I love this dude. He's like, like, I don't want to see you, but, I don't know, something about him. I like it. It's funny. But of course, he is putting the seed on General Julius here. Let's not forget about that. Like he is deliberately choosing his words so that Julius will feel this way. However, speaking of customary events, hunting is an inherently dangerous thing. One never knows what kind of beasts may be concealed in the forests and thickets. Say what? At times, an unexpectedly dangerous beast may lie in hiding. What do you mean to say? Or perhaps a stray arrow meant to strike prey could at some point fly wildly. A stray arrow well covered in poison. You couldn't possibly. A stray arrow, General. A stray arrow, eh? Interesting. A fitting way for a commoner to die. Sweet shot. Reminiscing about what Griffith said. For your sake, huh? Oh. That one time. It was the same sort of glaringly bright full moon. Yeah. I don't know if this is the answer I was searching for or not. But for now, I will wield my sword for his sake. Master of the Sword Chapter 2 comes to an end. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break and then I'm gonna continue on with Assassin. Alright, Assassin Chapter 1. The hunt begins. Quite the tenacious prey. Would your majesty care to join the chase once? No, I wish not to. I would soon tire at my age. Besides, it would be displease them all if I were to come from the flank and steal their hard-fought game. Ah. How magnanimous. Something about Guts and his expressions, man. It's like sometimes because it's always like the most like stoic, stern expression that you'll ever see, and then Miura will then just inject like some comedic expression, like like I don't know, man. It's hilarious. What's the matter, Guts? Why do we gotta tag along while the nobles goof off? It's ridiculous. Can't be helped. It's part of the job too. Besides, it's a lot easier than going out to battle. No worries about getting killed. Feels more natural to me when I'm swinging the sword. For God's sake, is that all you got in that head of yours? Corcus, again? Shut up. Listen, we're the guard for the autumn hunt. It's an honorable duty that until now has always been reserved for the kingdom's native-born white dragon knights. It's a privilege for just a chosen few, as it were. We've run around covered in mud on battlefields for so many years to earn that privilege. We have risked our lives so many times. And you say it's ridiculous? Gorkus. If you like swinging your sword that much, do it on your own. Killing fool. I mean, Gorkus has a point. He has a point. Gorkus has a point. I mean, they kind of deserve this, you know, this leisure activity where they don't have to worry about death, you know, like Gorkus has a point. Meanwhile, the princess Charlotte is also watching over, huh? Do you dislike hunting? Today's the first time I have come to the hunting grounds. My father invited me, so I felt I must accompany him. But I do not think that I will grow to like hunting. It is cruel. War is the same way. Why is it that men enjoy a little more than shedding blood? Look at the goofball! Look at the goofball that is Griffith. Oh, isn't he sweet? Isn't he such a sweet little guy? He's just playing around with the leaf and he's eating the leaf. Oh, he's so sweet. He's so flirty. Meanwhile, Casca's like, why is he flirting with that woman and not with me? That is an interesting expression, Casca. It's like, Bah, high and mighty. Excellency, just wait. The chance will no doubt come. Wait for when he's alone. And now the opportunity arrived. Or at least, no, if I remember correctly, Charlotte is going to go off, and then Griffith is going to save her once again, right? And that's how the assassination fails. Right. They go off to the river. They're about to shoot. Are you hurt at all? What is the matter? I was scared. Very scared. What a shock. My heart is still pounding. I've never been on such a wild horse ride in my life. Oh. Your fear seems to have already fled somewhat. Griffith! Come, let us return. Everyone is worried. And here comes the arrow. Oh, it did hit him. Either it wasn't poisonous, or Griffith has like extra layers of armor underneath that. Griffith gets shot. Guts screams. Assassin Chapter 2. Griffith, are you okay? Hang on. Hey, princess. What the hell's going on? Where'd that arrow come from? I don't know. Let me go. Oh no, we weren't careful. His heart might... No way. That arrow's been well soaked in the deadly poison of the cannibal bean. Even if it is just a scratch, he's done for. Oh, no. It hit the behelit, if I remember correctly. Right? It's kind of like fate. The behelit protected him. Griffith, don't get so worked up. Griffith! But the arrow! Are you... Yep. Are you alright? What's that? Poison, I'd say. And a rather strong one. Then why? It was this. It acted as a shield. The egg of the king. Is that the necklace you always wear? Are you serious? Good grief, there's no way. If things like that even happen, it's a miracle. The devil's own luck. Really, it's literally a good luck charm. Devil's luck. Yeah, this is no ordinary luck. I do love that Guts is already feeling it. As early on as this, like, something's wrong. Something's up with the bell and something's not right here. You know, like, whatever words that Zodd told him, it is working. Like, his warning, I would say, right? It's not just a prophecy, it is kind of a warning as well, right? Guts is taking it seriously. Like, he's not thinking as if that's all bullshit or something. No, he's like, something's wrong here. I'm just gonna stick with him, you know. Like, I'm still gonna stick with Griffith. I'm still gonna help him out. He's my buddy, right? But something's off. Something's wrong. Griffith, you should take off your armor. We have to see whether you're injured. I'm fine. It was really nothing. Don't say that. I love it. I love how everybody's like looking at her. It was coated in poison, right? There's a risk even with a small wound. I'm alright. Honestly. It didn't even graze me. But... excuse me. I'm sorry. If I had been able to handle the horse more ably, this would not have... What do you mean? It is our duty to protect you as well. Anyway, though, who did this? Who out there wants our boss dead, huh? Low-life bastard will kill him. Wait. What if they were aiming for the princess? Either way, we can't have it. I'm gonna search the undergrowth around here with my men. Come on, let's go, Gaston. Right now. Griffith immediately. You. A high price to pay. Huh? For this poison. Time to Uno reverse it. Who's going to be the assassin now? Who's gonna be assassinated? I mean, I kind of know what's gonna happen. It's going to be tragic. Like I vividly remember what is about to happen. Like you cannot erase what is about to happen from my memory. Windham Castle. That was pathetic. Please forgive me. However, I don't want to hear your excuses. The conclusion that this was a cheddar assassin aiming for the princess means that the incident is settled for now. Almost no suspicion whatsoever rests on your shoulders. But thanks to this, we've given Griffith the merit of being the one who protected the princess with his own body. The commoners heard the rumor and immediately enshrined the boy as a hero. Even the king seems terribly happy. We've effectively helped him advance even further. It's the pinnacle of ineptitude. But if the arrow was meant for the princess, what an amazing coincidence it made to pierce his heart. Then do you suggest that I go before His Majesty and inform him that you aim it at Griffith? So the important thing is, despite that, he's still alive. But it was highly unlikely such a thing would enough. Begone. Gah. Those eyes. Like he was trying to daunt me. Like he was looking down on some worthless thing. That was his expression. Ridiculous. And royalty, second in line to the throne of Midland. Compare that. Common boy. There's a world of difference in both social standing and rank. And yet, it was the same during the hunt. For one instant. Like a beast hunting prey, yes. Looking at me with eyes just like a hawk's. Could it be? No, it couldn't. The other lords were present too. It was just our eyes meeting for an instant. Above all, there isn't any proof. It couldn't. It couldn't be. I love this transition from like the sunset to the moon. Hi, sorry to call you up late. Wait there a minute, I'll be done shortly. There's more again. Have you read all of these? Well, most of them. To become great, one has to be able to do more than fight. Having said that, half of them are just light reading. History, religion, philosophy, chemistry, tactics, and then quirky ones like cosmetics or cooking. Even things like this. Wanna borrow it? Hey, yo! Griffith found the porn mags. Look at Griffith though. Look at how naughty he is. Look at how gleeful he is. He's like a child. He's like, look, Guts. Look at the porn mag that I got. Hey, he's okay. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. So you need me to do something? Yes. I'd like you to kill a man for me. What an immediate change in tone. He says that nonchalantly. And now the role is reversed. Now who's the assassin? That looks a bit more like classic Guts right there. With the hood and the cape. Julius Manor. Oh boy. This is going to hurt. Kill? Who? The man second in line to this kingdom's throne. General of the White Dragons, Count Julius. That guy, huh? The reason is this. This arrow is coated with an extract of the caliber bean. An ordinary person would never typically possess it, and as poisons go, it's highly deadly. I checked with each doctor in town and only one of them handles these. Furthermore, only one person has purchased it recently. Apparently, the man said to be the best bowman among the White Dragons. I paid off one of the maids to investigate him. This evening, she happened to see him coming out of Count Julius's office looking like he'd been severely berated. She wasn't able to catch any details of the conversation, but they were discussing the disturbance of the assassination attempt. I still haven't talked about this with anyone. This is an assassination. It is fundamentally different from crossing swords with an enemy in battle. It's dirty work. Failure isn't permissible at all, nor is your face being seen. It's for those reasons that I'm asking you to do it. Can I count on you? It ain't like you. Just cut to the chase and order me to do it. Like always. Oh, like always, there's all their buddies. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna stop that. It is fascinating to see like their dynamic. Like it is almost heartbreaking to see like they are how close they are, despite Griffith actually just being used. Has been using Guts this entire time, and Guts is just being manipulated by Griffith. But like, there is a bond here. There is a bond that you cannot deny. The question is, how much is that bond real? There he is. Here's the Count. And there's the boy. Julius. Lucky me. Huh? Who's that kid? Stan. What's the meaning of this? You call yourself a son of royalty? Now stand up. Stop resting. Your enemy won't wait for you in battle. Highness, please, let that be enough for today. Begone with you, Hassan. Adonis must someday become the leader of my White Dragon Knights and command the mightiest force in the land. And that's not all. As royalty, he may possibly wed Princess Charlotte and gain control of all of Midland. It's what a son of royalty is destined to do. The importance of this duty is different from that which befalls other men. Come at me. Try to get through my defenses at least once. Not even gonna comment on the fact that he wants, customarily of its time, or at least the period that Berserk is trying to replicate, right, of the medieval era. A lot of inbreds, if you will. Cousins marrying each other and all the likes. What a fun time. What a fun time to be alive. Very well, enough for today. Don't cool down too much, it affects tomorrow's training. Are you alright? That is a grievous wound, I will tend to it right away. Young master, do not be disheartened. Ever since the Countess died, your father has tried desperately to do all he can on his own to raise you as a knight. Please do not resent his actions. Of course, there's a Countess who died. It's always the wife who died, and then it's the father who was unable to raise the son, and then the son becomes, why? It's always the case. I hate how effective it is. Like, as much as it keeps happening a lot in this series, it's like, it's a pretty effective formula. Like, you cannot deny that. Oh man, it's always going to be a father who has lost their wife, and they have to take care of their children, and then the children, and then the. Anyways, time to assassinate. Yeah. Thinking about those times. Can't be careless at a time like this. Love that panel there. You only see Guts' silhouette all alone. Your Highness, I understand your feelings, but if you could just be a bit gentler with the young master. Doubtless he bears the heavy responsibility of royalty, but Master Adonis is only 13 and he must miss his mother so. Begging your pardon, this fierce training these past few days has been somewhat of the mark. Yes, I understand. You may go, Hassan. I've been unsuccessful with my duties in the castle lately. Maybe my frustrations has got the best of me a bit. I honestly hope you will not be unreasonable. Oh, that is cool. That is cool imagery and haunting even. And here he goes, an intruder. Quite a successful attack, if I do say so myself. Clean. I know you. You're Griffiths. He dies. And look who decided to show up. I hate it here. I hate it here. Adonis. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. I wonder how I will say this, when I first saw this in like the anime adaptation, I was shocked. I was like, no. In a way, in a way, I'm still kind of in disbelief. Like, those eyes, man, those eyes, both of their eyes. What have you done, Guts? What have you done? Assassin Chapter 4. It's the blood of an innocent person. What disturbance is this? Is anything the matter, Highness? Master Adonis? Intruder! No witnesses. Kills them off as well. What happened? What's this uproar? A robber broke into His Highness's chamber. What? Say what? Huh. In the end, not once did this boy get to make his father smile. Such a young child. How merciless. Master Hassan, find him. That robber. You will not let him leave this house alive. Yeah, good luck with that, but... Whoa! Sound of swords clashing, that's Gambino. I was always desperate. Always trying to get you to appreciate me. And then Nosferatu Zodd comes into the dream and slices Gambino. Kills Guts the same way Guts killed Adonis. Bro. That is the imagery right there. That's a nightmare, alright. Wow. He sees himself as the monster for the first time. Damn. As he tries to walk through the sewer. Ah, man, I bet right now Griffith's eating good stuff at the princess's dinner party. It sure has its perks being a knight commander. I'm sure it's just stiff up there. That reminds me, where's Guts? I haven't seen him since this morning. He's probably just practicing with his sword alone, again, as usual. He's just goofing off. His units and mine were supposed to have a joint practice today. And without any warning, he just... Door opens. It is Guts. This should be interesting. Kaz got to see Guts' reaction and his expression and how she's going to handle this. Guts? Guts, where have you been all day? It's been a rough day thanks to you. And why do you look like that? Did you fall in the mood or something? Griffith. Where's Griffith? Griffith is at a dinner party hosted by Princess Charlotte at Primrose Hall. Alright. Hey, I wasn't fit. That's an arrow wound. Griffith? It's the... It's the fact that Griffith has told Guts, to do all of this dirty work, right? And Guts agrees. He knows the job that he's about to do, right? Guts knows that what he's about to do is going to be dirty. If anything fails, then there's going to be a lot of blood in his hands. Like, he's doing a lot of the grunt dirty work, right? But it's the feeling of, you've done all that. You have almost died because of Griffith. And then you came back to him. And then you look at Griffith and he's just having the most fun night of his life in a long while, where he's just flirting around with the princess, like, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you genuinely feel? I feel like deep down Guts has this resentment growing, but he just could not show it. Because the other half of the equation would be Guts feeling, okay, I did a good job. At least my boy Griffith is doing fine. Like, I'm doing all of this hard work, but it's for a good cause, Like, at least I can see my friend being happy. Like, that's the other side of it, and I hate that it exists. And I hate that it is reality. That is probably what Guts is about to feel. He's going to feel like, if it's for Griffith, I'm willing to sacrifice it all. The question is, how far until he relinquishes that thought, right? I mean, I know that it's going to reach that point, but it's just so fascinating to see this. all come into play. I think that's the end of the assassin chapters. Yeah, and the next thing is the precious thing. Do I want to continue? Sure, let's continue. I'm gonna get a tiny break and then we'll continue on. Alright, let us end these chapters of Berserk with the aftermath of the assassin. Precious thing. I wonder what this thing is referring to. Is it referring to the ballad? Is it referring to guts? All of the above? I feel a bit tired. Please, have a seat. Thank you. Wait, says Casca. You mean to go up there like that? Don't embarrass Griffith. But if you've got business, wait until they're done talking. I need this. I love these two. I love these two so much. My heart. Oh. Casca taking care of guts. Is this alright? The host stealing away? I don't mind. They will all enjoy themselves regardless. I find I dislike these parties. They are just a bother, man. Charlotte just dislikes everything, does she? Besides, in reality, tonight's party is my father's arrangement to divert everyone's attention in the castle even but a trifle from the weariness of the war. If we must hold a party like this, it would be so much better just to end the war itself. Why is it that men enjoy a little more than shedding blood? Your Highness asked that at the hunt. Yes? It could certainly be that men possess that savage side, but that is a tool by which they secure and protect a precious thing. Title drop. I suppose it is a double-edged sword. Sword, you say? Precious thing? Like family or a sweetheart? There are some like that, but for a man, before he can obtain those two, perhaps he must come upon one other precious thing. One other precious thing? For no other's sake, to accomplish it for himself. A dream. His name is Griffith and he has a dream. Dream? And Guts and Casca are listening into this. One who dreams of world domination. One who devotes his whole life to the thorough tempering of one sword. If there is a dream which takes one his whole life to find, there are also dreams which, like storms, devour tens of thousands of other dreams. With no relation to social status, class, background, whether it suits them or not, people yearn for a dream. Sustained by a dream, hurt by a dream, revived by a dream, killed by a dream, and even after being abandoned by a dream, it continues to smolder from the bottom of one's heart, probably until the verge of death. A man should envision such a lifetime once, a life spent as a martyr to the god-named dream. These dialogues, man, these lines of dialogues. Impactful and almost iconic at the same time. Like I feel like there is some. I feel like it is iconic in a way. Like this monologue that Griffith is giving, like it's one of those top 10 moments of Berserk. You know, it has that aura to it. Ultimately, to be born, and to then simply live for no better reason. I cannot abide such a lifestyle. Forgive me, I've chattered on so. It must have been a boring topic for a lady. No. This is the first time I've ever talked with a man this way. Lord Griffith, you are a wondrous person. The first time I've ever laid eyes on you, I thought you were the son of some aristocrat. You seem so magnificent for someone so young. When I heard that you were a common born, it was very difficult to believe. Somehow, it is as if you are nobler than any of the nobles in this castle. But at the hunt, when you taught me how to sound the reed whistle, you seemed very simple and carefree. You were just like some village child used to playing in forests and rivers. And right now, you say the kinds of things to me a philosopher would say. A wondrous person. I imagine all of your friends too must have come so far with you attracted by that charm. Casca's like, they are excellent troops. Together we have faced death so many times. They are valuable comrades, devoting themselves to the dream I envision. But to me, a friend is something else. Someone who would never depend upon another's dream. Someone who would not be compelled by anyone but would determine and pursue his own reason to live. And should anyone trample that dream, he would oppose him, body and soul, even if the threat were me myself. Wow. That rings true to that. Words that Guts will never forget. What I think a friend is one who is my equal. What a shot, what a panel. As Griffith says, who is my equal, then you see just the distance that Griffith is right at the top. Nobody there but him. And then Guts, it's still at the bottom of the stairs. Wow. And Guts is looking down. Such amazing confidence. Yes, that is how I have achieved everything so far. There were days when I had not even a slice of bread to eat. But now, I can even talk life. I can even talk like this. To you, the princess of a whole kingdom. What is your dream? Your Highness. What is it? It is a disaster. Your uncle, Count Julius, has died. What did you say? Assassination. Someone snuck into his manor. Even his son, Master Adonis, was... The castle was in uproar. Oh, it's that smile. It's that damn smile. It's that damn smile. And Guts goes down the stairs, further distancing himself from Griffith. Also showing that him and Casca are also not equals in this instance. Wow, what a shot. What a way to end the chapter as a whole. I think that's a pretty good place to end the video, if I'm being completely honest. Like I feel like that was like a really good set of chapters from the Band of the Hawk, Griffith, Guts meeting with the king and Charlotte to the whole assassination ploy, and then up to this point, which is like a really, really good epilogue to the whole thing with Griffith's monologue. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to these chapters of Berserk. If you do, hit the like, subscribe, share the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace.